Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Milan Mondays. Now the transfer window is in full swing, so there's a lot to talk about and little time to waste, although I am trying out a new setup. I'm sitting down this time, lazy me, so let's get straight into it. Now first of all, let's talk about the story that's been rumbling on all week, and this is the situation with Renato Sanches. Now, initially, as in like the January transfer window and onwards, it looked like Milan were going to easily secure this deal with little to no competition. But of course, thanks to the delay in the renewals of Maldini and Massara, the hands of the Milan management were basically tied behind their backs since they didn't even know when their contract would be renewed. Of course, it is now, but that time wasted has allowed PSG to nip in and seemingly, for a time, secure the deal. So it looked like Sanches was not coming to Milan. Then I actually said last week about the Lille president claiming that actually there had been no contacts with PSG. And this claim seems to be actually backed up now by a couple of various sources. But talking about sources, there's a weird difference between what they are reporting, because some are reporting that this whole situation involving PSG is simply a bluff by Mendes to try and get more money out of Milan and for himself. Believable, it probably is true. But then there are also some sources saying that no, PSG have a genuine interest and are trying to get the deal over the line. Now, I'm not really sure if PSG even want him in the first place, because recently they've secured the signing of Vitinha, like another young Portuguese midfielder, for 40 million from, I think, Porto, or a big Portuguese club anyway. So if they're going to spend 40 million on a player similar to Sanches, I know their PSG money's not a problem, but it wouldn't make much sense. Again, I know their transfers don't make much sense, but still, there's reason to believe that if they're going to buy Vitinha, why would they go for Sanches? And apparently, if they're going to bid, their bid is going to be even lower than Milan's, which is really surprising. It's going to be like 10 million, while Milan is offering closer to 15. So, very weird situation going on. It's probably just an elaborate ploy by Mendes to get more money out of the Milan board, who don't want to spend much, don't want to spend recklessly, but in this modern world of football, it's sometimes impossible not to. There's also the other important thing, that Mendes is also the agent of a certain Rafael Leao, and now that is bad news, because if Mendes are going to play this game with Milan and Milan don't appreciate that, again, they have their hands tied behind their back, because, well, then Mendes can turn around and say, well, okay, we won't be renewing Leao's contract and you'll let him go for like 50 million. Which is nowhere near what we should be selling him for. We shouldn't be selling him in the first place, but his valuation, numbers like 50 million are nowhere near what it should be. So, very difficult situation it looks like. I'm not very optimistic, but I still think there's a decent chance we can pull off this deal for Renato Sanches. And it's also going to be important to keep an eye on the situation with Rafael Leao's contract, because that is extremely important. If we want to be a big club, if we want to get back to the heights, we need to make sure that star players like him are tied down to new contracts. We've done it with Teo. Can we do it with Leao? Let's see. Now let's take a break from the uncertainty of Milan's transfers and go to a positive certainty, and that is the fact that Origi has arrived as our new striker. Now, many people will point to the fact that he's simply just a backup at Liverpool, but as I said last week, I think, being a backup at Liverpool isn't really that much to be ashamed of. I mean, the quality of their front line, being a backup and coming on for those crucial moments, it's a great job, frankly. So I'm really pleased with this signing. I think that the combination of the fact he has so much experience and so much, credibility in those big games, we've seen it countless times with Liverpool, but the fact that he's not even that old, I think he's 26, so he still has some years in the tank. So I think that's a very good signing, on a free as well, to bolster our attack. I'm very pleased with that. An interesting question to be had with this is how Giroud's playing time would be impacted with the arrival of Origi. Personally, I think they should rotate in terms of playing time. I don't think one should be the out-and-out first-choice striker and the other one should be a reserve. I think they're probably both as good as each other. Both can be clinical in those crucial moments. We saw that with Giroud last season. So I think that's a very interesting, interesting choice of strikers that we have. Both are very experienced. Both have proven themselves in difficult situations. So, again, very excited for the future. Now, another interesting event of the week is the renewal, I believe, of the contract of Zlatan. Now, this means that he can technically play for Milan when he's 41. I think he turns 41 in October, which is absolutely ridiculous. Now, as we all know, he's out with a very serious injury until, I think, early next year. And so he's agreed to take a pay cut, which is obvious. He's not going to play for the first half of the season, and it's doubtful whether he'll even play for the second half. But I think this just shows how important Ibra is to the Milan dressing room. We saw the difference he made when he came in at the start of 2020. Look how far we've come since he's came in. But it's just like it's absolutely mind blowing, and I like the fact that we've renewed the contract of a 40-year-old injury-prone Zlatan, and I fully agree with it. I think it would have been dumb to just simply let his contract expire without renewing it, because even if he's injured most of the time, he still has such an impact on the Milan dressing room, and it's simply amazing. I mean, he's not even included in the conversation of the GOAT, Messi, Ronaldo, but I seriously believe that he should be part of that conversation, because not only is he an excellent footballer who can just surprise us in so many ways, but his psychological impact on the team it's beyond compare. Another very important development that's happened recently is the advanced negotiations that we're now in for the Katelaere. Now, at the start of the week, I believe we bid something modest like 20 million for him, which was obviously rejected by Club Brugge. And then, later in the week, Leeds came in with a higher bid than us, because of course they're a Premier League side, they have infinite money. But luckily, it seems like we've managed to edge out the competition from Leeds, because I believe now we're offering around 30 million, plus 2 Primavera players, Robak and Jungdal, like 2 players that are probably not going to break into our squad. So it's probably good for all parties if they go to Club Brugge to further develop. So yeah, very pleased with those the advances we've made for the Katelaere. I think he'll be a great signing. He fits our model perfectly as someone who's already shown sort of many glimpses of what he can provide and the potential he has. The fact that he's only 21. And I think he, with the right management that I have full faith that Pioli will deliver, he can turn into a truly excellent player. And if you think about it, if we can also get Ziyech over the line, which it looks like we might, think about it. Giroud or Origi up top, Leao, Ziyech, De Katelaere on form. That's a marvellous attack. If we can pull that off, and if we can get them all firing, we are a truly formidable side. Now, before I end the video, I'll just go over some little transfers here and there that's happened over the week. Now, first of all, a permanent transfer. Leo Duarte. I wouldn't be surprised if you forgot he existed. He joined in 2019 and literally did nothing. Believe he was out on loan at Istanbul Başakşehir last season, and I think he's gone there on a permanent deal for 2.5 million or something. Forget the fact that we bought him for 10 million and he was utterly useless. He didn't even play. I don't even know what was the point of signing him, but yeah, he's gone to Başakşehir on a permanent deal, so we can just completely forget about him now if you haven't already. There's also 2 loan deals for 2 of our young players. So Lorenzo Colombo, he went to Lecce on loan, and he had his debut already in a pre-season game, and he bagged a brace. So let's hope he can replicate that form throughout the season and come back a more sort of mature, developed striker. And then we also have the interesting development that Daniel Maldini is actually going to go out on loan to Hellas Verona. I think that's a very good move for him, because Verona are a very dangerous, very good side. So if he can develop in that team, get some playing time, yeah, I think he'll come back much better. So those are just the little deals that you might have missed. And yeah, I believe that's the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, I guess like the video. That's what the like button's for. And see you, I'm not sure when I'll make my next video. It might be Milan Monday next week. I might fit something in between then. But anyway, see you in my next video.